Over the last 2 years, I've probably spoken to around over 1,000 strangers. And it's been all great, honestly. Like, I can't lie. I've had a bit of embarrassing situations, but it's all been great. I'm fulfilled socially because I have friends now, because I'm fun to hang around. I've talked to so many people. When you do that, you become so confident. You become so charismatic. You understand how social dynamics work. So when people hang out with you who you want to actually befriend, you're fun to be around. It's easy. So I've actually made friends who I like hanging around, and I have a fulfilling social life. I'm confident I can take more opportunities. Everything in my life has improved just from doing this, just from speaking to more people, strangers. Now, you've probably heard it, stranger danger. It's this message basically sent to kids because of some cases of kidnappings that basically say, don't talk to strangers, strangers are bad, strangers are evil. And there's nuances in that message, but the main message is stranger danger. That's the word everyone knows, stranger danger. And it is propagated so drastically, like it's very deeply pushed into our society. And once I learned about it, obviously, I was very against it initially, and I still am, because I've gotten so far in life. I've improved my life so much just from talking to strangers, just from talking to new people. And there are these people who are propagating this message of not doing that, of not putting yourself out there, of not meeting new people. And this was initially to protect children. But the truth is, there are almost no cases compared to the amount of cases of children being harmed or kidnapped or murdered from people they know. There's so many cases of that from people the children know themselves compared to complete strangers. So the entire message is kind of stupid because there's such a limit on the amount of actual strangers that hurt you compared to people you know. But kids aren't really taught to be distrustful of the people they know. They are taught stranger equals danger. And even if you don't remember being taught this, I can promise you, I can genuinely assure you, you believe it to some degree. It's so pushed into our society, even in such a small level where they don't say the actual message anymore. It's kind of been fixed, but it still is pushed. In the news, for example, you see these people in the news, you literally get murdered from random people. It's unfair, but it doesn't really reflect reality. You know how the news is. They put everything out of whack. They show you the things that spark your attention. So it's not really a good source of information. And the reason I hate this message, and the reason why you should too, is because it promotes loneliness. There's a loneliness pandemic nowadays, and it can be cut down to social media and all of this, but I genuinely believe this message is a huge factor of it. I genuinely believe most people just don't have the confidence to speak to others confidently, strangers, complete strangers. I don't think most people can do that. They feel anxiety, this approach anxiety. And I really think a huge reason for that is because of this indoctrination. And even if you're an adult now and you know it shouldn't affect you, I really think the things you learn when you're young that are drilled into you, it takes a long time to drill them out. When you're young, you're the most susceptible to messaging like this. So when it gets drilled into your head, stranger danger, your parents are telling you, be careful, be aware of strangers, be careful when you go out. I really think it drills into you that strangers are bad people. I remember there was a time when I was telling one of my old friends about the fact that I was trying to improve my social skills. I was literally speaking to strangers every single day, just literally saying hello, just greeting them and walking past. And I was recommending a friend who had severe social anxiety. He was not confident at all. I was recommending you should do this because you have anxiety, and I think it would really benefit you if you just started speaking to new people, and it helped your confidence and self-esteem so much. And I remember this guy, like not the person I was telling this to, but this person's kind of sitting between us, who's also in our friend group. He was like, no, don't do that. Don't speak to strangers. And I was like, why? What? Why? And he was saying that speaking to strangers is bad because you could get raped or something like that. Like if you talk to a stranger, you'll get hurt. And I did not listen to that, but I didn't really know much about stranger danger at the time. But now I understand, yeah, this guy was just manipulated into believing that BS. And he thinks if you talk to strangers, you'll get raped. There's no evidence on that. You're more likely to get assaulted sexually, even as a guy, bro. You guys aren't safe from this. You're more likely to get sexually assaulted by your brother, or killed by, I don't know, let's say some acquaintance, the shopkeeper, your barber. You're more likely, so statistically, okay, not your particular barber, but you get the point, a barber that you know, than a stranger who you just happen to say hello to in good graces. Obviously, first of all, yeah, obviously. Why would a stranger who you don't know target you because you said hello, first off? And second off, statistically as well. So I hate this message. It's a horrible message. It promotes loneliness, which is as bad as smoking statistically. Again, I'm taking the studies, bro. I normally don't take studies, but I wanted this to be accurate. I took the studies, I looked at them, I did the research. Loneliness is statistically worse than smoking, worse than being obese, probably worse than doing drugs, bro. Those people who sniff drugs, those people who are smoking joints in public. Lizzo, bro, big old Lizzo. Loneliness is worse than all of this. It's genuinely worse for your physical body. Like, it gives you symptoms of depression. It makes you extremely stressed. I don't even like using the... Okay, Wasp just tried to get into my house. I don't even like using the word depression because I just don't like the word. But the point is, it brings about the worst possible symptoms for your health. It dysregulates your nervous system. You are physically worse at doing everything in life if you are lonely. You see those signs outside that say no smoking in this building. It should be no being lonely in this building. No being lonely, bro. That's worse. That's literally worse than smoking. A pub where everyone is having fun is better than some quiet room where everyone is not talking. But we can't reverse the problem. We can't make it so that when you were 4 years old and your parents were saying, be careful and only stay around me, don't talk to anyone new. You can't reverse that being told to you, right? So all you can really do is just be confident, practice confidence. The more you speak to more people, the better you get at speaking to more people, and you'll become more confident, you'll become more social, and you'll be able to actually make friends because you'll be someone fun to be around. You'll know how to speak to people, which is such a huge component of life. And one of the most zestful moments of life is speaking to other people, is having friends, is building relationships. It's such a fun, most fundamental aspect of it. It's a need. So I urge you to practice this skill. And if you want to actually learn how to do it, you can check out the top link in the description, where it is a community of people who are also trying to improve their social skills. And I'll also teach you how to socialize through these kind of video courses that explain how to learn to become confident and, more importantly, make friends at no matter what stage you're at of socializing. Unless you're like some mega G, you're super confident, but then you probably wouldn't be watching this, would you? And honestly, just comment stranger no danger. Literally just comment stranger no danger, just to show your stance on the matter, that you support this cause. It sounds like a bit of a protest, and protests are a bit cringe, honestly, but still, I do genuinely believe having a stance on this topic, not supporting this cause, would be beneficial for everyone. And maybe someone who was kind of on edge thinking, sure, improving your social skills, cool. and then they would have just clicked off the video. They might see the comments. They might think, oh yeah, so many people are on board with this. So many people have stories to tell about their experience with this, and I'm trying to get better at learning to socialize. And they might actually get motivated to do it even if they weren't going to initially. So you might literally save somebody's entire future who was destined to be lonely at like 45 years old with no friends and depressed. So I hope you do that. I'll see you in the community, and bye-bye.